Hey guys, just wanted to take a few minutes to talk about something that I discovered while traveling here in Budapest. And I've traveled a lot, but I think it's something that just kind of struck me because I didn't really feel it until I spent a couple of weeks here in Central Europe. I think that I wasn't ready to go on vacation and I wasn't really in the mood. There's a lot of things going on at work and in my life. I just wanted to kind of stick with my routine and deal with kind of routine issues like paperwork and bills and day-to-day affairs. And I wasn't ready to go on a vacation. I thought it would distract me from what I had to do, what I feel like I had to do to be a more efficient doctor, a more efficient human being. And I went mainly because I felt like, my wife needed it. And but after spending couple of weeks here, I realized that perhaps traveling is making me a better person and a better doctor. And I think we fall in this identity trap where we feel like as doctors, the world revolves around us, that we are here in this earth to save people, which we definitely do, but we feel like that's our only value, and we forget that we are part of a whole. I think I forgot that, at least. And being just a tourist traveling, taking away my day-to-day job, kind of makes me realize that, I could be gone the next day and nobody would care, and that I'm just a regular human being. And just being a regular human being here walking in the streets makes me empathize more. Just this morning I was at breakfast and I just saw this waitress just being just completely overwhelmed by the number of people in the lounge, trying to get everybody coffee. And I just felt she was a little curt, but I didn't take it personally. I just realized that, hey, that's me, that's my job. I'm very busy and I can sometimes be curt too. And I didn't take it personally because I realized that it's a human condition to lose patience when you have so much on your plate. And I have this amazing privilege to be on vacation and have all the time in the world right now in this moment. And I think taking this time off for myself allows me to kind of reconnect with my humanity, connect with people, understand people better. Because when I'm so busy, I don't have really time to empathize as much, if that makes sense. When you're at work, you have compassion fatigue because you're so busy. There's so many things you have to take care of. But here I'm able to kind of step back and say, hey, you know what, my job isn't so bad. Look at this woman who just for a very small amount of money is just completely flustered, just serving coffee, And there are people doing jobs that are much harder than me, making very little money here in Hungary. Construction, and other type of manual labor. So I felt like disconnecting takes you away from this identity trap that I thought was important for you to connect with your patients. Also, when you're traveling so much, you get to kind of get away from this notion of urgency. Everything in the emergency room is, of course, time is very important. Everything is, you have to do it right then and there, fast, and every minute counts. And when there's a delay more than a couple of minutes or a couple of hours, you just get sort of flustered. But here you kind of disconnect from the rush, the fight or flight system of getting everything done right away. And I think that kind of makes you more patient. Learning patience is an art, is a skill, especially as emergency doctor, that you lose over time. And I think coming here, appreciating the beauty and appreciating kind of the time that you have is something very valuable that you have to learn in order to connect with other patients. And then finally, I think being here in Europe, you realize how much the culture here values enjoying the present moment, at least more than Americans, and definitely more than American physicians. People here take time to just simply sit at a coffee shop for hours or take their time for dinner. They enjoy just walking down the streets without necessarily have any aim to spend money or to go somewhere. They just kind of enjoy the sights. Being in the middle of castles that are hundreds of thousands of years old kind of makes you humble, makes you realize that life is short compared to the grand scheme of things. You have like these, like behind me, the Buddha castle, or you have the Fisherman's Bastion with a statue of a king that founded in Hungary in the year 1000. And you realize, hey, you know what? My job is not so important. It is important for people, no, that's for sure, but in the grand scheme of things, you don't take yourself so seriously, which I think is important. Humility is important as a doctor. Humility is important as a human being. So these are my insights. I just thought I'd just take these 5 to 6 minutes to talk to you about this, and hopefully this is an interesting video for you. Thank you for watching.